Windows. The foundation of personal computing for billions, Windows traces its lineage back to a graphical shell for MS-DOS named Interface Manager, which was eventually released as Windows 1.0 in 1985. It was less an OS and more a 16-bit graphical environment. The true architectural shift came with Windows NT, a technology designed for servers and workstations that became the backbone of all modern consumer versions from XP onwards. Its dominance is built on the Wintel Alliance, a symbiotic relationship with Intel processors that created a massive ecosystem of hardware and software. Today, Windows is a hybrid OS, integrating the legacy Win32 API with a modern Windows subsystem for Linux, allowing developers to run Linux environments natively. While its user base spans from casual users to enterprise IT, its attack surface remains vast, making it a perennial target for ransomware. The kernel, now a complex tapestry of legacy code and new security layers like virtualization-based security, constantly battles for performance and protection against an ever-evolving threat landscape. macOS. Born out of the ashes of Next Step, which Steve Jobs developed after leaving Apple, macOS is the direct descendant of the Unix-certified operating system that powered groundbreaking workstations in the 90s. Its acquisition brought a modern, object-oriented kernel and API to Apple's classic macOS, resulting in OS X. This Unix foundation provides a stable, POSIX-compliant environment under the polished Aqua interface. The tight hardware-software integration extends to the system on a chip, with the transition to Apple Silicon enabling features like universal memory and instant wake from sleep. The graphics stack, Metal, bypasses older APIs for direct GPU access, benefiting creative workloads. However, the platform's sandboxing and hardened runtime, while secure, create a walled garden that limits user freedom and software distribution outside the App Store. Its reliance on proprietary file systems and recovery partitions makes data recovery uniquely challenging for third-party tools. Linux. Strictly speaking, Linux is just the kernel, the core resource manager written by Linus Torvalds. What people use are GNU Linux distributions, combining this kernel with the GNU operating system's userland tools and libraries. Its development model is a global, decentralized collaboration, with maintainers like Greg Crowe-Hartman overseeing kernel releases. Its architecture is modular. The kernel handles hardware through loadable modules, while the X Window system or Wayland manages the display. This modularity allows Linux to scale from an embedded thermostat to the world's top 500 supercomputers. In the server space, its control groups or C groups and namespaces are the foundational technologies for containerization, powering Docker and Kubernetes. On the desktop, fragmentation remains its strength and weakness. Package managers like apt and pacman offer incredible control, but create compatibility silos. It's the only OS where the user can replace almost every component, from the init system, systemd, or OpenRC to the desktop environment, without rebooting. Chrome OS. At its core, Chrome OS is a Linux distribution, but one that has been surgically altered by Google to run a single primary application, the Chrome browser. It uses a hybrid architecture, a lightweight, verified boot process with a read-only root file system for security, layered with the ability to run Android apps via a container and Linux applications via a Debian VM or Crostini. The user interface is the browser, with everything abstracted into tabs and windows. It relies heavily on firmware-level security with a hardware root of trust and automatic background updates that apply on reboot. The operating system is essentially stateless. User data is intended to be cloud resident, with local storage acting as a cache. This thin client approach, powered by the graphics stack supporting Vulkan and Android's graphics drivers, is now being pushed toward cloud gaming, though its scheduling and resource allocation are not optimized for the low-latency, multi-threaded demands of native AAA titles. Android. Android is a mobile operating system built on a modified Linux kernel, but with a radically different userland. Google took the Linux kernel, added its own wake locks and power management for mobile efficiency, and constructed a Dalvik Art runtime that compiles bytecode into native machine code. The architecture is a software stack, the Linux kernel at the bottom, then hardware abstraction layers, or HALs, followed by native libraries, the Android runtime, and finally the Java API framework. Its inter-process communication relies heavily on Binder, a custom mechanism for remote procedure calls. The open-source nature of the Android open source project allows manufacturers to modify the UI and core services, leading to fragmentation. Project Treble modularized the OS framework to allow faster updates, but vendor customization still causes delays. The file system structure and permission model have evolved significantly, moving from permissive external storage to scoped storage, locking down app access to user data. iOS. Contrary to popular belief, iOS is not a trimmed-down macOS. While they share the XNU kernel and some low-level components from the Darwin Foundation, they have diverged significantly. iOS is built for a touch-first, direct manipulation interface with a rigid, sandboxed application model. The kernel enforces fine-grained entitlements and a mandatory code signing requirement. Every executable must be signed by Apple or an approved developer certificate. This creates a chain of trust from the secure enclave, a dedicated hardware component for cryptographic operations, up to the application layer. The operating system uses a compressed memory architecture and aggressive application state management, freezing background ops to preserve battery life. The Cocoa Touch framework provides gestures and animations with priority rendering, giving the interface its characteristic fluidity. This closed ecosystem extends to the file system, which is hidden from the user and encrypted by default with a hardware-backed key per file. Unix. Unix is more of a philosophy and a trademark than a single OS. To be branded Unix, a system must comply with the single Unix specification, which defines everything from system calls to command line utilities. The original Bell Labs Unix was rewritten in C, making it the first portable OS, and its design principles, everything is a file, small programs that do one thing well, and text streams as a universal interface, still permeate modern computing. Commercial derivatives like IBM's AIX, Oracle's Solaris, and Hewlett-Packard's HPUX run the core of the world's financial and telecommunications infrastructure. Solaris, for instance, introduced dtrace for dynamic tracing and ZFS for file system and volume management, innovations later adopted by other OSs. These systems prioritize stability and scalability over user-friendliness, often running for years without a reboot, managing hundreds of threads and kernel processes with sophisticated schedulers. BSDs. The BSDs, our Berkeley software distribution, are the academic descendants of Unix, developed at the University of California, Berkeley with significant networking code that eventually found its way into the TCP/IP stack of the Internet. Unlike Linux, which is just a kernel, a BSD distribution like FreeBSD, OpenBSD, or NetBSD provides a complete integrated operating system where the kernel, core utilities, and C library are developed and released as a single project. This holistic approach results in a system known for its consistency, documentation, and upstream stability. The kernel uses a different threading and SMP architecture than Linux. OpenBSD is legendary for its proactive security auditing and features like privilege separation and memory protection techniques. FreeBSD's ports collection is a source-based package management system that compiles software from source with local optimizations. Its license is permissive, allowing companies to embed it in proprietary products, which is why it underpins the networking stacks of Sony PlayStation consoles and the data core of Netflix's data content delivery network.